The Glock is the best. Now, I'm not advertising Glock, but I'm telling you.
You low-key are.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Just a bit.
I'm just letting y'all know so everybody can know. If you don't know, get you one of these. Look, go get you one of these. You're going to be okay.
Welcome to We the People podcast. I'm Shelton. I'm joined here by the boys.
All right, I'm Fred with We the People podcast and the Survivors of the Foundation. I'm your favorite dad.
Colin of Gunplay TV. Again, everybody's favorite competitive shooter, instructor, and firearms enthusiast, of course.
My name is Nick, fastest Canik pull the trigger guy in the world. I'm just a regular guy, though. You dig? We got to address some things. The founder himself, Shelton, give some feedback on how you feel about the activity so far that we've been receiving on the page.
Y'all, we appreciate it, y'all. Y'all been really commenting and getting active and engaging, and we appreciate it. And it solidifies the whole mission, the whole purpose, what we're doing, and we're gonna deliver more stuff. We got plans to expand, not just the podcast. The podcast was the first step, but we're gonna expand. We'll provide more content by the people, for the people. So we appreciate that, and just keep on sharing and keep on, commenting and actually engaging with each other. We really appreciate that.
It's exciting to see, all of the positive feedback. The views is one thing, but again, shout out to the subscribers, the people that are hitting that button. If you haven't and you're watching this, go ahead and hit it now so you can be a part of that elite group. We do appreciate it.
Yeah, we're doing like 400 or 500 subscribers a day.
Yeah,
we appreciate that. So
it's pretty good.
The movement is moving.
Yeah, movement is moving.
Right.
Yeah.
What I've seen so far, before we jump into it, this has been a space that's long awaited, is what it looks like.
Yes.
Where absolutely. A lot of men and women, surprisingly, a lot of men and women have been jumping into the comments saying, it's finally here. I'm glad you guys are talking about it. I appreciate you creating this space. Clearly, we thank you, Shelton, for even coming up with this. And so we appreciate y'all. Again, keep commenting, subscribing. And what it looks like is you guys are also hitting our Instagram pages. And so we want to interact with you as much as we possibly can. With that being said, we're going to jump into it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
If you have not seen the last episodes, please go back and check them out. They are amazing. I think that last one got 13,000 views.
Last I checked, we're about at 20,000, I think.
Yeah.
Views?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last time I saw it was 13. We up there now.
It's moving. Like I said,
It's moving.
All right. We're going to jump into it then.
Yeah.
The first subject.
Okay.
What is that first gun you should buy? This is probably one of the most important questions. If any gun guy has, gun girl, somebody getting into guns, what's the first gun I should buy? Shelton, we're gonna kick it off with you, man. What's your ideas?
All right, let's define some type of people that buy guns, right? Now, you got, say, a single person. You just or you got roommates, or you live in an apartment. What type of gun should they buy, right? You live in an apartment. Let's state that.
Yeah,
you live in an apartment.
There,
Do not buy an AR-15.
Okay.
Do not buy an AR.
But why though?
Why?
Because those bullets are gonna rip through those walls.
Yeah.
You do not need an AR-15. That's too much to start off.
It's a good second gun.
It's a good second gun.
Correct.
Yeah. First of all, AR-15 should never be your first gun, right? When should it be your first gun?
You live in the woods.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you live in a rural area and maybe you're only gonna have just the one gun, right? I think an AR can fill a lot of roles, but it's not concealable. It's not practical in the same way that if you're a city goer and this is something that you're gonna have with you all the time, I don't think it's a good fit. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts. You mentioned kind of being an urban apartment dweller. What are you having to pick up?
I would say a shotgun.
Oh, okay.
I would say a
I
shotgun.
wasn't expecting that. I thought you were going to say MP.
Okay.
No, you think I was going to go MP? No, I'm not going to go MP.
Okay.
I actually was like that Taurus. What's the Taurus?
The
G3C?
The G2C?
Yes, sir.
A lot of people started there.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Taurus.
That's a very good start.
Okay.
That's a very good start if you're trying to do handgun, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about you live in an apartment. What should you get? You should get a shotgun.
Okay.
That's what I feel.
Little Remington action, nothing too crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
You got to go into that because I disagree.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
give us your
well,
word.
Yeah, right. I disagree. Why do you have a shotgun and you have let's say you have roommates, like you said.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, because you don't want to penetrate through those walls,
right?
And those walls are thin.
Yeah.
So you want to stop that person or whatever
the threat, right?
The threat right there. You don't want it to penetrate through walls, and so even a 9mm, it can penetrate through those walls.
What you think?
And I think people need to understand. Your gun need to be bought based on people, places, and space. You know, like if you're one of those people and you notice you're not going to go to the range, you know you're not going to do that. You just want it for protection, because that's what people say. I want it for protection. If your space is that you live in an apartment and you got people that are stacked on top of each other, you got to take that in consideration.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Your place, like you may live in a place where it's not realistic for you to have that, you know, that weapon. And my thing is make sure you find some guys like this group and go to the range with them, and then you can see, because they're going to direct you right.
Sure.
Going to the gun store on your lonesome to find a defense weapon, they're gonna give you what you can afford, not what you need. So
you touched on something there, because I get this question a lot, right? You know, a lot of people come to me and, you know, hey, what should I pick up? I'm looking at picking up my first gun. The first thing I ask people is, what's your use case and what's your budget, right? And use case being, you know, is this something that you plan to carry? Yes. Is it going to just sit in your nightstand? Are you going to get into competition? Are you going to be training regularly? And I think that to me, that kind of drives the place that I point them. You know, you mentioned the shotgun. I think that's a great all around weapon. If you could only have one, I'd probably say get a shotgun, right? You can do a little bit of everything with a shotgun. But for most people, I think a pistol is more palatable. For whatever reason, people think smaller guns are easy to shoot a lot of the time. Right. And again, so it's not. but I do ask people, hey, is this something you're gonna carry? Are you gonna, throw this in your purse? You know, what's the plan with this firearm? And so oftentimes, I tell people go 9mm. But again, I think the first question you have to ask is, how do you plan on using this gun? If you're gonna keep it in your nightstand, get you a larger gun. Get yourself a full size Glock 17 versus, the subcompact. Because again, those smaller guns, while they're easier to conceal, if that's not your use case, that's not necessarily appealing to you. And then of course the budget kind of dictates, do you get a staccato or do you get a
come on, you never buy a staccato. That's what I was about to ask you. Like, if I come through and like I got so much money and I'm like, whatever, my budget's whatever,
right.
Like, do you go straight to staccato? Like, no,
not inherently, no.
But why not though?
And that's what I was getting at. It depends on the person.
I think you when you say, okay, why not? I think it's one of those things where when people get it and they're gonna have this thing just to dress up their closet, and you just spent $2,000 on a handgun. Really, this is when Glock comes into play.
All right. Shameless.
You didn't think that man worked for Glock?
We knew that was coming.
That way.
We're talking about somebody now who has the budget for a $4,000 or $5,000 gun.
I'm getting
that's a good point though. What is a good starting budget, right? Because again, we can go to $2,500.
I think
that's typically what I tell folks.
And under, right?
I tell people, if you want something good, again, we're not going to the staccato grade, but $500 to $700 is gonna get you in the game. You also have to consider, right? And this is maybe a question I put to y'all. You got your first gun.
Okay.
What's the first thing that you think? I guess aside from ammunition and obviously training. What's the first thing that you would recommend a new gun owner to pick up to kind of complement that firearm? Because for me, I again, every time I buy a gun, if it's a rifle, I'm getting a sling. If I get a pistol, I'm getting a holster. So for me, those things are included, but that's not a given for everybody. So I'm curious what you guys would tell folks to kind of
store it. Where to store that, like a safe,
especially if you got a family, right?
Yeah, that's so important.
Yeah, I'm gonna say holster. Like holster, you got to get a holster, and you got a good one, not Uncle Mike.
Yeah. don't get you a one size fits all holster. That's very important, actually.
Do not do that.
Make sure when you get a holster that you go and get one that's with positive retention.
Uncle Mike's.
Uncle Mike's.
What's Uncle Mike?
Oh my God!
You don't want to know. If you don't know, don't bother.
No. We need to know.
Okay.
People need to know.
It's like a neoprene. It's like a sock that you slide your gun into.
It's like a sock.
It doesn't. There's no retention.
No.
It's not custom fit for your firearm.
No.
And so
I got
if
one
you
of those.
You do. Shame on you, bro.
Yeah.
But it happened at the beginning.
That's how. That's how
a lot of people start there because you can get one at the store. You don't gotta go through the hoops, but definitely get yourself something that's good, custom fit. I would say outside of a holster for me, because that's in the gun the budget for me.
Yeah.
I would say get yourself a weapon light. it's dark 50% of the time on Earth. And a lot of times bad things happen at nighttime. So it's nice to be able to see.
Yeah, y'all are talking like real gun guys, man.
Exactly. That's why these people are not gun guys.
Right. We're talking about the average, and you're not including women. You're talking about shotguns. What woman is picking up a shotgun or what man who's not going to train?
Yes.
When the last time y'all seen a shotgun in the training range?
And I train a lot of women.
Most times they're not even going to allow you to shoot those indoors, at least with buckshot, because it just makes a mess.
Right. Yeah, that's my point.
My whole thing, right?
And so I told you. I disagree. When you get your first gun, and we've all seen people with their first guns. They don't have red dots.
Nope.
They don't have lights on them.
Nope.
So what I tell people, get you an affordable gun that you can buy bullets and mags for.
Yeah.
Everybody has that first gun has one mag.
One mag.
Where you going?
Yeah.
They have one mag and they pulling it out of a dusty sock.
I would say you need at least 3 magazines.
There you go. Keep it simple.
3. One in the gun, 2 spares.
And ladies, with the ladies, they're not going to just start out with the staccato price. They're not going to buy all the extra stuff.
That's off-putting for anybody.
Yeah, they're not. But dudes, like if they were another dude, they gonna amp themselves up to buy the extra stuff as much as their money can take. Wherever money can take them. But like the females, they want to know specifically what their budget gonna look like. Like they want to know if you saying the gun is $400. It's $400 in what? Like it's only $400 with tax.
That's after tax.
Yeah, they want to know. Yeah, and they want to know exactly what I have to get and what I have to do. And you have to really explain to them, like when you're not just gonna go buy a box of hollow points. You need to buy other ammo. They want to know, so they got to go to the class. I tell people get a holster and get a class.
I would say that as well. Yes. And you mentioned, hollow points. This is something that I think is, I wouldn't say like it's not lost knowledge by any means. I think everybody here has defensive rounds in their firearm, but for the everyday person. I see a lot of people with full metal jacket, just regular range ammo in their pistols. And to your point, right, you don't want that over penetration. I don't want to shoot the bad guy, go through the drywall into my daughter's room, right? And that's a very real possibility with things like an AR, with a 9mm. And shoot, I mean, even you look at 12 gauge, right, double out buck. I mean, you're almost at a 9mm diameter, and you got what 8 to 12 of those pellets in there. I want to say, if my math is right.
Yeah,
you can do some. You can make a mess with that. So definitely keep that in mind. Make sure you guys get some good hollow point ammunition, something that's defensive grade. Yeah.
Please. And make sure you take the classes. You need to learn. There's a difference between shooting and gunfighting. Like, that's it. Now, I know people are going to try to reserve it to their specialty. Like, I was in the Marines, or I was a police officer. But you're not. You're a parent. You're at home.
You're a civilian.
You need to know exactly where you're going to aim. You need to find those funnels in your home. You need to protect those. Don't go looking for the threat. Get on the phone. Make sure you call some help, because you don't know how many people. You just woke up at 4:00 in the morning.
Right.
So,
and we're going to go down the line with 2 takeaways for your first gun. Mine are get you a gun that you can afford and manipulate. Some women can't pull those slides back. Get you a gun that you can afford and manipulate and get 2 extra magazines.
Yeah.
Colin, what's yours?
The absolute takeaways for a first gun. Yeah, I mean, again, I think it's going to be dependent on use case, right? If you're not going to carry a gun, if you're going to throw it in your purse, or if you're going to throw it in your waistband, get a holster. Now, it doesn't have to be a full holster. You can get something that covers the trigger guard, but a lot of women come to me and ask, opinions, and, they plan to throw this in their bag. The last thing you want is for a lipstick or a lip gloss to get in that trigger guard while you're at Walmart and you send a round into the shelf next to you. You're liable for every round that comes out that firearm. So something that's going to have positive retention and protect that trigger is a must. And if you're like us, right, we come from the Call of Duty generation. Everybody wants to customize and build their stuff out. I would say a weapon light is after you've got those first check boxes, you've done your training, you got your ammunition, get yourself a weapon light. I bought one for my mom. She's got the Smith & Wesson Easy. So again,
that's what I'm about to say.
Very
Give them a
easy
model
to
number.
manipulate.
That's because the Easy Shield. That's what I bought my wife first.
The Easy, the Smith & Wesson Easy, shameless plug, very good gun for women.
380.
Comes in 380 and 9mm as well. Yeah.
Yes.
And I'm going to say Glock. I'm going to say it.
That's right. Me too.
Fred, go ahead. What's your
I'm going to tell you
takeaway?
off top. Ladies, get you a Glock 43X.
That's a good gun. That's a good gun.
It's the best gun.
The best gun.
Yeah, best gun. Back to my point, the takeaways that you can take away from this is, like, be careful when you people take you to the range. You got guys who like guns, and you got guys who know guns.
Absolutely.
Now, the guys that like guns, they go to the range probably once a year.
Yeah.
And they got a whole bunch of guns. The guys that know guns, they actually do them, and they may change up because they find out it does not fit them. So those are takeaways. For me.
All right, and my takeaway.
Okay.
So
besides that shotgun,
12 gauge.
let me just say, keep it 100 with you.
with 5 bullets in it.
I just bought a shotgun. My first shotgun.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
After I bought 20 guns. But logically, I should have bought a shotgun first.
Long ago.
Your second one.
Well, I wouldn't say first.
Your third gun.
It should have been first if I'm for home defense. But I bought so many more before that because I wasn't really trying to. Yeah, I was chasing the guns. Right, I was chasing the fancy guns. But yeah, buy a cheap gun, buy some ammo, and go shoot.
So
go by yourself and shoot too. Just don't wait for other people to go to the range with you. Go by yourself and then just train and focus on your trigger pull and your grip. That's what you need to focus on. Nothing else.
Trigger pull and grip is that's probably 85%.
85% shoot.
Easily.
Yep.
Yeah.
What you can't do with a shotgun.
It's very true, very true. But I mean, to your point though, and I hate to come back to the shotgun. If I could only have one gun, and that's the only gun I could ever have, a shotgun can get you game, it can get you bird, large game. You could put a slug in there and do some work at range. So it is a well-rounded. Yeah. You could make your own shells. I'm not advising this, but you can do your own stuff with a shotgun, right? It's a good survival tool. So if I could only have one, I'm taking that Beretta 1301 or that Benelli M4 for sure.
Yeah,
we'll make that a topic.
Yeah.
What's your one gun? But
okay, I like that.
So we did get a comment from a subscriber about how do we deal with traffic stops being fully loaded, and I haven't got pulled over yet.
Yeah, I've been blessed not to have been affected by such a
ever in life.
No, since I've been
carrying, right. I don't get pulled over often. I'm a good driver. I don't.
I'm a really good driver now. I'm not really.
Now it's crazy,
man. Because like last week I was leaving the range and I like to do a mag dump before I leave. With the FRT.
Okay.
But the suppressor was so hot, so hot. So I didn't put it in the back of the truck. I put my AR actually in the back seat, but I had it up, and I'm like, yo, whatever. I'm just gonna ride whatever. But music started getting to me. I started speeding and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, if I could get pulled over right now, and they just look back and they see this AR and all these other guns back here, I'm like, I got to deal with some drama. So, and then a couple days later, someone made that comment. I was like, that's a good topic.
So if you would have been pulled over in such a situation, just like you said, you left the range the other day, suppressor's still hot, and you get pulled over leaving the range. How you handling that situation?
Well, I don't care if it's hot or not. I'm reaching back and I'm sliding that thing down because I had it up, to let it get some air and stuff. So I would reach back and slide it down, and
that could be dangerous in and of itself, depending on your window tint situation.
Oh, I got.
Yeah, you got. I mean, naturally we live in the South. You need that, but
So I would go ahead and slide it down. I'm gonna keep the window up back there, and put my window down. But I'm gonna say, hey, I'm just leaving the range. So I'm just leaving the range.
And he says, "Do you have any firearms on you?"
Oh, everywhere, everywhere. Firearms are everywhere.
This guy's asking to get pulled out of his car.
Listen. It's probably best I get out the car. Let's keep it 100.
You don't want to take that upon yourself. If you tell the officer, "Listen, I have firearms," and you take it upon yourself to hop out.
No, I'm not upon myself. But if he tells me to get out, I had a situation like that where officers told me to get out, and I'm like, all right, I'll listen to what you're saying. But then he wanted me to get in the back of his car.
I don't like that.
And I was like, nah, I'm not doing that.
I haven't done anything wrong.
And then he's like, oh, okay, you can go. What was you trying to do? Get me in the back of your car? No.
Just to talk with you, because one thing I'll tell you about police, right? You need them, but their job is to get incriminating evidence on you. So you don't want to say too much. Now, what I would do, I mean, I've never, typically all my stuff's locked up in the case unless it's cooling off, like you said. But I mean, we EDC all the time, right? And that's probably realistically that's the scenario in which you're gonna get pulled over. So I mean, I've never had this happen, but the way that I've always told myself that I will handle it, and this is what I would tell viewers, is once that officer comes to your window, depending on the state, you may be required to disclose whether or not you're carrying. But if you're asked, I might say something like, listen, yes, I am carrying that appendix here in my waistband. How would you like me to proceed? And, just make sure that your hands are visible. It's a shame that, we have to do these things. Again, carrying a firearm is not illegal in and of itself, but, we both want to get home safely, myself and the officer. Agreed. So I'm going to make sure my hands are, I'm going to let them know, how would you like me to proceed? If you want me to get out, we can do that. You can secure that firearm, and you know, we both can get home to our families at the end of the day.
Yeah. Well, I've had my fair share of dealing with the law.
Okay.
And what I'm not going to do is give my rights away.
Absolutely not.
You say the right to remain silent. I'm not answering no questions. I'm not starting with that, because you start on that road, then you got to be on that road. So you pull me over for a traffic violation. Now we're going to give you license registration, because that's what you're asking, you're requiring. But now you asking me if you got any weapons. I'm going to reserve my rights. I'm going to let you know that, because what I'm going to do is I'm not going to talk up on a charge.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not telling people what to do. I'm not giving this as legal advice. I'm just telling you, reserve your rights. You have to reserve your rights. And once you go down that road, you're not reserving your rights.
That is true. The Fifth Amendment right is big. Fourth Amendment right is big.
Yes.
And we're talking about the second.
Yes.
Right?
Now, I've been pulled over a couple times with my guns. And it's one of those things where, again, it's perception. I got pulled over leaving Ryan's house.
Oh, really?
I'm in the fatigue, guns in the back seat.
Got the belt on.
But this is the thing. Unlike you, I roll down all my windows.
That's what I would do.
Because I don't want you to have any question as to what's going on.
Right.
And most of the time, 99% of the time, they're not going to ask you that question, do you have any weapons on you? Unless they're suspecting you of committing some type of crime or you're acting aggressively. And again, this is not legal advice, but you get pulled over, they do not ask you if you have a weapon on you. So it's no need to volunteer that information.
Sure.
Even if they see, you think about the old back in the day when you were driving a Ford truck and they had literally a rifle rack in the back of their trucks. You could visually see that rifle.
Yeah.
They're not looking for, some of these people are not looking for trouble. So there's no need to give it to them. And so in my experience, in my experience, whether it's either it's my EDC, which is actually on my belt, or sitting in the back seat, I've never had to explain a reason to have it. And so it's literally just a law-abiding thing to be cool, hand them that license and registration.
Give them what they need.
Like Fred says, don't bring that stuff upon you. They typically want to go home too. They don't want to do the paperwork for it either.
Now, EDC, you mentioned EDC, just for those that don't know, that's everyday carry. These are the objects, you know, your keys, your wallet, for me, chapstick, phone, firearm, maybe a spare mag, things you always got on you, right? And so I think everybody kind of raised or touched on a good point. I know in Georgia we kind of have our own, you know, we've got some autonomy when it comes to the firearms. I know some states are a little bit funny about that, and I know a lot of the times when they run your plate, they can oftentimes see if you have a concealed carry permit associated with your address and name and so forth. So that's something to consider. But again, I would never say to forfeit any of your rights or give up more than you need to. But if you do get that cop that is looking for a problem, right, try to dispel as much of that concern as possible while retaining, you know, your autonomy as a free citizen, right? So
get your concealed weapons license.
Yeah,
when they ask for it.
Even if you don't need it, like, because here in Georgia we don't need one.
But when they ask for it, do you have any weapons in there?
I might even hand you that with my ID.
That's my point.
On the vibe I'm getting, right?
That's my point. And now everybody knows everything is legal.
Yeah. And don't keep your insurance and your registration where you keep the gun too.
That's a terrible. That's a terrible
don't
situation.
Do that.
Honestly, for me, I keep mine in my visor. You know, I've got honestly ID and and my registration right there in the visor. So I don't even have to go into any closed compartments. Hands are always visible right there above my eye line.
That's real smart.
Come on now.
Like old school detective.
Yeah, very prepared. Very prepared.
And people got to think about it too. Like if you're a gun guy, you're a real gun guy, you don't just have a gun in the car. I got rifles, suppressors. Do you really want it all on the side of the road while they check it out?
That is true. Yeah, that's
like
true. That's true.
This is the thing that you have to understand. I am going to reserve my rights. I'm going to make sure that he understands that I know my rights, because a lot of people get this thing where they engage with the system, not interact with it, because we've never been taught how to interact. We've only been taught to engage. That means whatever they decide to do, that's what they get to do. But the reality of it is there's a way to interact. And then the best way to interact is let them know that you have knowledge about your rights. Because when you start forfeiting stuff and you start giving stuff up, then you're asking for other things to happen.
Yeah, that's fact.
So
they're like, I'm finna take advantage of this for me. You silly! I'm finna rip you off.
Now we touched on EDC. Right now, Fred's EDC obviously includes rifles, shotguns, suppressors, etc. But for each of y'all, what are y'all carrying You know what I'm saying, day to day, what are we rocking with? Shelton, take it away.
At the current moment, I'm rocking the Hellcat.
All firearms are unloaded, YouTube.
Yeah.
Take note.
I'm rocking the Hellcat.
Okay.
It's the original Hellcat.
Nice subcompact.
No red dot. It's real simple, but I just received my new EDC today, and it's real naked right now, so I don't want to show it. I'm gonna wait to get it all dressed up.
Okay.
And then I can show
Next
y'all
episode, tune in for that.
Yeah, but for all my big guys, that this the hybrid holsters are the best way. As you can see right here, that the leather kind of wraps around it, so I don't have to worry about the butt of my gun like poking into me.
Right.
And this is extremely comfortable. So
I like that.
make sure you get like a leather hybrid holster with the Kydex in the front. Make sure it wraps all the way around the trigger, so you don't have to worry about the trigger going off, and a deep carry clip too. You know, this is important.
Absolutely.
Because we got a lot of stuff hanging over until I get it right. You know what I'm saying? Until I get it right. But you know, right now at this time,
we finna get Shelton on the cardio.
Yeah, I'm finna get on the cardio. I'm trying to get like.
I didn't know what you were talking about.
Yeah, you know. But yeah,
Okay.
so the
Fred,
deep carry allows it to get down low. So
Well,
I can rock with that. So what you working with, Fred? What you running? I know you
Colin,
like.
you know what I'm carrying.
I know what
I'm
you
carrying
carrying,
the
but
Glock.
again,
All right.
you keep a lot with you. So
I do
sure.
keep a lot, but I make sure it's compact. I can still wear my shirts and I still can wear my pants that I want to wear. But I carry 3 guns. I keep one in my pocket and I keep one on my ankle, and I carry my knives. You can't see all of it, but my gun to carry is my Glock 43.
All right,
You know, Osprey suppressor. I make sure the gas pedal is very important. I'm sorry.
Yeah, especially for the small guns. Yeah,
and for the people that are getting older, you need a red dot.
It makes you
makes it a
too.
whole lot easier for life.
It does.
But this right here, y'all, is my baby. This
what kind
is
of
the
trigger
baby.
you got in there? Is
That's
it
the
Apex?
Glock.
This is a crossbreed trigger. Really nice trigger.
Yeah.
Really nice trigger.
You had to
But
change out the trigger.
You want to try this? You'll fall in love with it.
No, you had to change out
You'll
the
fall in
trigger.
love with it. You fall in love.
Maybe another time.
Okay.
Thing like a stepchild.
Now for me, so we had this question. I think somebody was in the comments asking myself and Shelton, what are we running? EDC, right?
Yeah.
I just switched, right? So with all the SIG controversy, I was carrying a P365X macro. I am now carrying a CZ Shadow 2 carry. So this is probably the latest model from them. I've got it decked out with the lock grips, a little touch of orange there on the back. To Fred's point, right? You got to have the optic. I like to have an enclosed optic on my carry gun, just because you got a lot of lint, a lot of detritus, if you will, that ends up in that in that window, and so having a closed emitter, helps keep it a little clean.
Yeah, show the people it's clear.
Of course,
You gonna get on
Yeah,
YouTube.
come on now.
Yeah.
Come on.
YouTube people gonna get on
Yeah,
you.
we're not.
Nah. I told you in the beginning, we're keeping everything clear now, but now
kids.
once more, weapon light. Gotta have it. And then this is a little different. It's a double single action. So one thing I will say is I wouldn't recommend this for your first gun. We talked about what some people should pick up. Those striker fire, they're a little bit easier to pick up and run with. Even me, this is taking a little bit of a learning curve, with the decocker and the like. But so far very happy. I gotta have again custom made Kydex holster to keep that positive retention on the firearm.
Nice.
Gotta have that. So
It
we're
is
working
nice.
with. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Nice.
Very, very Gucci over here. Come on.
Yeah, you got to keep it Gucci.
Got to keep it Gucci.
Ladies and gentlemen, fastest trigger man.
You know what to expect.
Fastest trigger man in the South. First of all, I want you to notice the orange safety here.
Chamber flag. You see
Chamber
that?
flag.
Very professional.
Let you know there's no bullets in the chamber.
All right.
This is a Canik. This should be in consideration one of your first guns.
I would agree with that.
Yes.
This is my everyday. It's my everyday carry. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you buy this gun, one, you don't have to change out the trigger
They are very good out the box.
like a Glock.
Did he slap me?
Better, much better than a Glock.
Like,
Okay,
Out the box,
exactly.
there's no question.
It's a lot of daggers being thrown this way.
PSA
out the
daggers.
box. This is probably one of the best guns you could buy. And let's keep it real.
Yeah.
If this gun goes to gun jail, I don't care.
Right.
I love this gun. Now I put a light on it, got the red dot on there. But honestly, for your EDC and for what could happen with your EDC, none of this is going to come into play. It's going to happen so fast and they're going to be so close to you. None of this is going to come into play. But you need to get your gun. Is it going to be one of your first EDCs, or if you're mastered at the skill of shooting, get your gun at one you're not too worried about going to gun jail.
What's gun jail?
Right. you get into any situation involving your pistol and they have to take your gun to lockup, it's probably never coming back unless you got tons of money for that lawyer.
It's going to be a while at very
right.
Mm-hmm.
And so you got to be ready to let go of that gun. God forbid that ever happens to anybody on here. But that's an EDC, man. It's a Canik, and I'm a Canik fan. Number one.
I will say the Canics that's a great call out as a starter pistol. They're not going to break the bank, and they require less work out of the box than a lot of guns.
Glocks, say it.
Glocks. I will say it. Glocks are like, I always say Glocks are like the Honda Accord. It's never gonna fail you, but it needs a little bit of character, and you got to go out of your way to add that, right? You got to put the neon lights on the bottom of the Accord, lower it a little bit. That's the Glock.
But you have to develop with your gun, guys. You know, like the Glock gives you time to develop. These guys are talking about driving Corvettes already. Now, if you're hunting Accord, you're gonna have to put some rims on it, put some music in it, all that kind of stuff. But it's still pull chicks though. Okay.
I feel like the Canik is the Acura Legend.
I would say it's a step above. It's
the Acura Legend.
Hyundai best. Okay,
I kind of agree with you right there, because when you buy like a bare bones, like the first computer I built was bare bones, so I had to figure out how everything I needed to add to it, because a Glock is just bare bones.
It's gonna give you what you need.
Yes. No, but you need to figure out what you need, because you need to figure out that, man, this trigger is garbage.
Right.
I need a red dot. Right. Now I gotta. What am I gonna get? A slide? Am I gonna get a new slide? Am I gonna get this?
Get it milled.
If you want to learn about guns and you want to start to build your collection and get real familiar with the mechanics of a gun, maybe a Glock. But if you don't want to do with all that stuff, then get you a Canik or
it's gonna come optics ready.
Yeah.
Now let me ask this: just to in Fred's defense, does everybody here own a Glock at one point? I know I had a Glock 19X. I sold it.
No, sir.
Okay, so you've been Canik through and through since.
Taurus and Canik have been my only.
This guy. What about you?
Yeah. Okay.
You had one back in the day.
Yes, I earned. Yes, I had a Glock.
Okay.
But Fred, have you had anything other than a Glock?
Any SIGs? Tell me about the SIGs in your collection.
That's the question.
Before you answer, Fred, at the same time, you see every last one of us had a different brand name of gun.
Okay.
This is true.
So just keep that in mind. You have to go. You're gonna have to do some research and some shopping.
Go ahead. I do own other guns. People give them to me. I just don't use them. I give them away.
I only keep the Glock.
That's tough.
I mean, I have the SIGs, the Caniks. I had a couple of those.
Yeah.
Gave them away. Got the Rock Island Armor. Got the 1911s. Got Tauruses.
Some Berettas.
Smith & Wesson. I got Smith & Wesson. I got all of them. It's just the Glock is the best. Now, I'm not advertising Glock, but I'm telling you.
You low-key are.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Just a bit.
I'm just letting y'all know so everybody can know. If you don't know, get you one of these. Look, go get you one of these. You're going to be okay. Because Canik is Hyundai. This is Honda.
Let's keep it 100.
Did that come red dot ready?
No.
I know
that's what I'm saying. Let's keep it 100.
Okay.
How did you buy it? And how much did you put into it?
At least double.
It's a Nissan GTR, man. Of course, it's fast when you put $100,000 in it.
Exactly.
Okay, so now,
exactly.
I don't know why people want to try to prove their point on my points. You know what I'm saying? Because the Glock is the best. Don't let nobody fool you. I'm a Glock guy.
All right.
Now,
he getting animated now.
He just in here last week talking about the SIG. I'm never going to change, and he walks in with a new gun.
I never said I wasn't going to change. Let me be very.
We got it on record,
right? We do got it on record.
It is on record.
I'm not selling mine. I'm not going to sell.
I didn't. It's in the safe. I didn't give it away either, Fred. I'm holding on to it, like I told you.
I'm helping people by doing that.
It's all up to you.
Right. The thing is, all of us have different kinds of guns, brand names, and all for different reasons.
Yeah.
Because all these guns, especially yours, some of these guns have safeties on them. Some of them don't. Triggers are different on them. Some of them come slide ready and red dot ready. Some of them don't. Some of you got to put money into. Some of them you don't.
Yeah, some of them are big and some of them are small.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things to consider.
Pause.
Yeah. Let's take a moment for that bitty comment.
I mean, like I say, I couldn't carry that gun. I couldn't carry that Canik. That's like it's like a full size to me.
Yeah,
that
is
I
a
can carry that.
That's a good duty size.
Yeah, gun. And I had a smaller version, but the ergonomics of literally practicing and drawing it was not comfortable, and I couldn't really get to it.
Mm-hmm.
And so someone that through experience and research of getting your guns, you're going to find what works for you.
Absolutely.
And so some of it's trial and error. But the bottom line is you do need something to practice with and run with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Get the ammo, and the practice is the most important.
Yeah.
But before we wrap this little segment up,
Mm-hmm.
any other points you guys want to make?
Man, I would say this. It is, again, we've got some varied carries out here, right? We talked about the small guns being kind of snappy. You talked about them being hard to draw. These are all considerations and trade-offs when picking an everyday carry, especially a concealable firearm. I would say carry the biggest gun that you can conceal effectively, because it's always going to be easier to fight and use and train, to your point, with the larger firearm. You're going to get a better grip. You're going to, just because of the mass of the gun, there's going to be less felt recoil for any particular ammo type. And I think that's ultimately going to serve you the best. We've all had some subcompacts, I'm sure. I started with I think it was a SIG P365 was my first EDC, and that was like the original small one.
Mm-hmm.
I gave that to my ex. I didn't like the gun. It was a little too small.
Yeah,
she's my ex now. She was my ex at the time. Yeah, but she needed.
I was
a
about to
firearm.
say that's tough.
I did make sure she got a nice
story. That's another episode.
Maybe a little side topic. Yeah.
And
I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Go ahead. I lost my train of thought.
No, that's
Go ahead, Fred.
It's okay. As we talk about, we've hit on a couple topics tonight. One of them was, what do you do when you get pulled over with a weapon, which is insanely important. So please, depending on what state you live in, look into those laws. Make sure you have, if you possibly can, the most important thing about having a gun is having a good lawyer and having the money to afford one.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go into that at another time with that kind of cost associated with pulling that thing out. So but perception, what do you look like to the world as a gun guy? Do you even think you look like a gun guy? Perception. What do you, when you walk into a room, what do you look like?
I'm curious to know what the viewers think. Before we even give any answers, y'all go down in the comments and let us know which of us look like gun guys, which of us don't. But let's take it down the line.
No, just because Fred thinks that we all look like.
He did say that, but he has a bullet in the brim.
That's crazy.
But however, now I look like a dad.
That's tough.
Yo,
I like a dad, concerned dad that's going taking kids to soccer or something. Now,
because I usually look like you because I got my own clouds on and that's dad vibe.
Dad vibe.
I have on Air Force Ones. This ain't a gun guy.
Nah. But the culture has changed. Like you used to be able to see the guys, like everybody would wear the vest, the hat. You knew that, but like now the gun culture has changed. Like
the grunt style T-shirts.
Yeah, I think he was throwing something this way, but okay.
No.
Okay. But the gun culture has changed. Like somebody would say, okay, you're not supposed to have braids and dreads or whatever the case may be. Like you got to look a certain way. Gun guys don't look like cops. Cops look like cops.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Don't get Shelton started.
Yeah, because we had a commenter that said, he was like, yeah, just don't look like a thug. Don't wear your dreads and your hat to the back. And I'm like, nah, bro, whatever. Get up out of here.
Nah.
Like, this is not your space. This is not what we're going to wear our dreads. We're going to wear our hats to the back. We're going to do whatever we're going to do. You need to change your perception. We're not changing for you. Just get on up out of here.
I mean, I personally don't have the head for dreads, but I take your point.
Yeah, my head.
I can't do it.
I lost on mine.
I would look crazy with dreads. I already know. I'm not even going to go there.
I just think that's one thing we started even with survival systems. The main thing was change the narrative. And the change the narrative is not changing people's mind. Changing the narrative don't mean for me to change your narrative. It's change mine because I don't want to be in that box that you put me in. Because we live in a system that put us in a box. And the thing about it, when gun guys have a certain walk, they have a certain strut. I don't care what nobody say.
Right.
There's even when gun guys are confronted, they handle it different. True gun guys, not guys who own guns.
Yeah.
But gun guys handle conflict different.
The confidence.
Yeah. And that's true. We touched on that in the previous episode, right? There's two types of gun owners. It's the guy that's going to be even more responsible, even more sharp and kind of pointed with his response. And then you got the guy that, thinks because I have a gun, I'm gonna do, I'll respond however I see fit.
Yes.
Right, which is a slippery slope in and of itself. So
because perception is everything.
Perception.
You walk into a place and people immediately put something on you. He looks like he's XYZ.
This is true.
Oh yeah, whatever that perception is. And so, like Fred said, it's your energy, it's your walk, it's your confidence, your lack thereof, your posture, some of your attire. unfortunately, some of your attire.
Yeah.
You walk into a store, it's the middle of summer, and I hate to say this. I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it. You walk into a store in the middle of summer with a hoodie on. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's a special type of I've seen that quite a bit here in Atlanta. I don't know why. I don't know how these folks are wearing hoodies.
You say you don't know how.
I can't figure it out. But I mean, to your point, like, you know, we as humans, we're visual creatures. And I don't want to give too much credit to the commenter that you mentioned, but we do form perceptions and kind of find ourselves in a predisposition based on what we first see, right? You only get one chance to make a first impression. And so what that looks like is completely up to you, but how it's digested by others is not. Exactly. So you just have to keep that in mind. If you're a gun guy or you're going to be carrying a gun, maybe it's not good to telegraph, right? I mean, I never would advocate open carry. But no. You know, but you there are individuals, to our point, right, that might as well be open carrying because they telegraph in such a way that they have all the gear that might as well tell you, hey, I got a gun under my shirt.
That's the last thing I want to look like. I don't want you to ever see me coming.
No, you never know I have a gun on. You never know I have all those guns on.
I never knew you had 3 guns.
Fred, I knew you had at least one.
I knew that was one and a knife.
I'm gonna kick it.
Fred, you got a bullet in you.
I got 3 knives, 3 guns,
and a spare bullet in the brim.
Right, Fred, you got a bullet in your
hat. Everybody got to get some. You got to get some.
Right now.
If there's anybody who looks like they have a gun,
but you got like gun guys have a certain confidence. Right. Remember, those are the guys that are gonna make eye contact. Those are the guys that are gonna give you the head nod, like, yeah, I'm in here.
All right now.
Yeah.
They're not gonna walk. They're not walking by looking like they hard. They're not trying to pose. They letting you know, how you doing, man?
I see you
speaking
too,
to everybody.
Yeah.
They letting you know I'm the good guy because what's gonna happen is that I can also be the bad guy too. But I'm letting you know as we're going through the motions that I got a stand I can stand on, you know? And people respect that. You respect that and they know each other. I've been places and other gun guys have saw me and been like, look.
Yeah, they size you up. Yeah, they size you up.
Yeah, for sure.
When you're going into public and just as you're walking around as just a common person, you with your family, what are you thinking when you're sizing up men, women? Because now women carry guns too.
They do.
I mean, see, with women it's a little different because I think I wouldn't say most, but a lot of women that I've kind of consulted, for lack of a better term, prefer off-body carry, right? They not. I'm a firearms consultant. You know, hey, if y'all need recommendations, go down to the comments, man. Feel free to holler at me, Gunplay TV.
Yeah, he's a single guy.
But I will say though, I think a lot of women probably find it hard. You know, they're not always wearing a belt that can carry a holster. And then there's only so many options that are light enough and small enough, right? So I think you know you kind of resort to off-body carry. Now, I think to your point, right? We see these things around. You see a guy with a crossbody bag. Yeah, you assume there's a pistol in there, right? Yeah. But when you see a woman with her Tory Burch or you know her Chanel bag, I'm not necessarily jumping to that conclusion, but it might as well be the same thing. Now, one thing for like when I'm kind of sizing up other people, I do kind of look for that little print, that appendix. That appendix print, you know what I mean? And that's a big piece of concealing your firearm. For those out there, it's not hard to conceal the part that's going to be down. It's hard to conceal that handle. And so that's why we go subcompact and those smaller guns sometimes.
And we all live in different areas of Atlanta, Georgia. And Shelton, you live in the suburbs in a nice neighborhood. As you're walking around, just looking at generally people, your neighbors. 2 questions. One, how do you think they see you, and how do you see them?
Well, unfortunately, some of them added me on Facebook, and I just had to accept them, and I'm like, okay. And then they see me with the guns, and they're like, oh yeah, well if something goes down, I'll come to you.
Absolutely.
I mean, you could have been savior. But yeah.
I get that a lot too. I hate that.
Yeah, but it's all good though. It is what it is. That's who I am. You know what I'm saying? That's my life. That's what I am. So
you think they've kind of identified you, at least those on Facebook, kind of associated with you, being a 2A firearms owner at very least.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they see me taking them guns in and out of the garage all the time too. So it's all good. They definitely see it, but it is what it is.
I like to think people don't know. But those around me, I mean, the people that my friends and family, they know. I train, I compete. I mean, they come to me for advice on guns, so they know I'm typically carrying. But I like to think that when I'm out and about, Like, I'd be curious to know if the viewers knew I had one under my shirt this whole time. You know what I mean? Like, if you could kind of pick up on that energy.
Or did you know that Fred had 3
Fred,
of them?
Right.
I definitely wouldn't know he had. Like, the ankle gun is real old school.
Yeah, that's
like if you walk into the club and like, hey, we need your first, you know, I still got one up my sleeve.
No, I got it in my shoe.
They missed my
Right. That's some James Bond activity right there.
Fife right there, boy.
Man, I'm just telling you, like this right here. Like, people love to say stuff like perception. They love to say stuff like, well, why you put this stuff on Facebook? Or why you put it on Instagram? One thing I learned, and I learned this thanks to the law, if you don't tell your story, guess what? They'll make one up for you.
This is true.
So I'm gonna tell a great one, because I'm not gonna tell one that is not true. I'm not gonna be like, no. You change the narrative by making your own narrative. So if you're a gun guy and you're proud to be a gun guy, because gun guys are proud people. I don't care what nobody say. They're proud people. They don't hide it. Those people that hide it, they're not gun guys. They own guns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they like you feel ashamed to have a gun. No, you should feel pride to have a gun and using and exercising your rights.
Yeah, that's what I'm on, man. I love the Bill of Rights is an amazing document. Yes. And you know, I'm blessed to live in a time where I can take advantage. That wasn't always the case, like we touched on in the previous episode. But yeah, I'd be damned if I can carry a gun, if I can own guns. I find them entertaining. I find them fun.
Right.
They're cool in and of themselves, and you know, there's the added ability to protect yourself, your loved ones, and your property. I don't see anything more American than that.
Yeah, I advocate for education, man. Where I don't care what city, state, because all these states have such different laws when it comes to carrying your guns, how you can carry them, where you can carry them. So I advocate for education. I don't care what you look like, because like Fred said, you got to write that story for yourself. People, you can walk out of the house with a suit on, depending on where you're coming from, what kind of shoes you have on, the watch you have on, the way your hair is cut. People will make up what they think you are.
Yep.
And so be who you are to the absolute fullest. At the same time, be ready for the consequences for that story that you put out.
Be mindful of that. Right.
Keep that in mind.
And you got to know your rights. You don't have to backpedal. You got to know your rights, and you got to exercise your rights. You can't conform to the norm, because the norm might not even be real. So people sit back and they try to conform to the norm. No, I even like people that don't reflect me. Okay. I was in Publix the other day. Guy walked up. I had on the Canik shirt. Guy walked up. He said, "Oh, you like Caniks?" Somebody gave me the shirt. Somebody gave me that shirt. Canik gave me that shirt. Now.
He slipped up.
You see niggas like, damn, where you get the shirt from?
Yeah, they gave me the shirt. They got a couple of them. They were free. But the guy started. He had a 30-minute conversation with me, and he pretty much told me, "Hey, I'm a rich guy. I have all these guns. I got a 50 cal suppressed, blah, 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 and we have 7,000 acres we shoot on. Like, I want to shoot with you." And I'm like,
7,000. He said he's rich. Damn.
That's what I said. He said he has an armory. So I'm just like, okay, well, I definitely will be calling you.
For sure. You got his information.
Yeah, I'm gonna take you guys with me, because I don't need.
Please do.
I'll be there. I will be there.
My lawn guy told me that. He's like, yeah, I looked up your Instagram, and I saw you got a podcast and you're shooting. He's like, I got like 50 acres.
Yeah.
Your lawn guy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's like, come out and shoot with us. I'm like, for sure, yeah, I'll come out and shoot with y'all.
He's out. Where's he out of? Kennesaw.
He lives in Kennesaw, but it's Blue Ridge.
Oh, okay, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
man, that's where I want to
be. He said
be.
he bought that like years ago for dirt cheap.
Yeah, he's winning.
Yeah,
he winning right now.
Yeah, let's end on that, because a lot of people, and we appreciate the love. A lot of people are asking, I want to come to the range. I want to shoot with you guys, and where we welcome that, and we're going to structure it in a way where it can happen, because we created this podcast for like-minded people to be around like-minded people. With that being said, there's going to be a lot of responsibility in structuring these events, because safety is priority. We all got to make sure we make it home. And so for me, this is number 4. This has been great. I absolutely love the fact that you guys are commenting. Keep doing that. Keep subscribing, commenting, liking. Come to our Instagram pages, interact with us. We love to interact with you guys as well. Absolutely. But everybody kind of give like a parting, piece to this episode 4. 2K subscribers.
to the moon.
Right.
Yeah,
to the moon.
Yeah, it's onwards and upwards. And once more, to Nick's point, right? It's exciting to see the engagement, the people that are actually in the comments, not only communicating with us, but with with each other. Again, that's we the people is more than the four of us, right? It's all of us. And again, those of you guys who have subscribed, you guys are again a part of an elite group. And if you haven't, I encourage you to do that. Again, I think I think the first topic that we touched on, right? Buying the first gun. I think it's a big one for a lot of people. I remember it kind of being a thing for me. We touched on the last episode. I did buy a P320 for my first gun. Say what you will about that. But I do think that again, really consider your use case and your budget when you're picking up a firearm. And if you do decide to go with a shotgun, word to Shelton over here, make sure you at least get a sling and get yourself a weapon light as well, man. Make sure you have the accoutrements. It is practical. Now it's not concealable, and I think concealment, it again, it kind of gives you a little bit more of an option set, and
more flexibility.
Right? Yeah.
I've never seen somebody clear a room with a shotgun. But anyway, Fred,
yes,
go ahead. Your parting words.
I'm going to always make sure you reserve your rights. Make sure you practice your rights. Make sure you know your rights. Like those are things that you have to do because we spend too much time engaging the system instead of interacting with it. Like you said, education, knowledge is what will push you forward.
Yo, merch is coming. I know I've been saying merch is coming.
It's coming.
I know I've been saying it, but I just got caught up in jury duty and
you see the merch.
You see it right there.
Right,
you see this coming
Makes you
too.
look slim.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, not this one though. Yeah, but merch is coming. There's gonna be a lot of different flavors. People are asking for it, and they like, yo, I need that we the people. I need that shirt. I'm telling you, it's crazy to have people like saying, I need that merch. Yes. I need that merch. So we locking it in. We making sure everything is smooth. Keep on commenting. Keep on subscribing. We got more to come. I was actually thinking about us doing like a middle episode. I was telling Nick about because if we get a lot of comments like we did last time, we might just do like a Zoom call and just talk about all the comments and the feedback that we get for the last episode. Yeah. So if y'all make this one go up like y'all did the last one, then y'all might get a midweek episode of us like kind of reviewing y'all feedback and responding.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let us know in the comments what you think about that. I think it's as always, it's great having these discussions. I think it's a good group that we have here. But again, we the people is bigger than the four of us. And so I really encourage everybody to keep engaged and share this with like-minded individuals so that we can continue to grow the network and bring you guys more content. But I think, again, it's been a great discussion. Always a pleasure to discuss with you gentlemen.
Like Nate Dogg said, man, to the next episode.
We gone.
Peace.